I recently came across another Victorian photo, and it left me wondering, who was this woman and what story does it hold? Driven by curiosity and interest, I've dug deeper and researched her life. Charlotte Louisa Wright was born in 1847 to Joseph Wright and Isabella Jeannot in Dublin, Ireland. She was baptised at St James Church. Her father was a wealthy wine merchant and was listed as an esquire in official records, indicating he was a landowner of high social rank. In 1871, Charlotte married Richard Charles Mason Pooley, a physician. Shortly after their marriage, the couple relocated to Rochdale, Lancashire, where they had two daughters, Vivian in 1872 and Olive in 1876. The family settled on Yorkshire Street, a bustling area filled with shops and pubs. It was here that Richard began his role as a surgeon at the Rochdale Infirmary, which was just a short walk from his home. His work extended beyond his medical duties, as he also engaged in voluntary work. Just 2 years later, at the age of 31, Charlotte passed away from scarlet fever and septicemia. Her husband Richard remarried to Rose Kendrick, and not too long after, the family moved south to Cornwall and later to London. He died in 1922. The newspaper described him as a beloved figure who was respected by all. In the blink of an eye, everything can change, and for baby Harold Neesham Bax, life was cruelly stolen before it even had the chance to unfold. Born in 1877 in Devon to Bonham Ward Bax, a captain in the Royal Navy, and Emily Harris Neesham. From the start, his life was filled with loss. Just a few months after his birth, on the 15th of July 1877, his father died in Japan, succumbing to dysentery, a gastrointestinal infection that was common in soldiers and naval officers due to poor sanitation and contaminated waters overseas. He was buried thousands of miles away from his family at Aura International Cemetery in Nagasaki. The loss of her husband left Emily to raise her 3 young sons and daughter alone, but life would continue to be cruel. In 1878, just a year after his birth, Harold passed away in Plymstock. His death record seemed to have been lost to history, so we won't ever know the circumstances surrounding his death. Harold's mother, Emily, had lost both her husband and youngest child within a year. Despite all the devastation she faced, she went on to raise her 3 remaining children, Margaret, Arthur and Robert, who by 1901 had all carved out their own lives. With each married and her sons' careers now flourishing, Arthur became a respected clergyman, while Robert followed in his father's footsteps, joining the Royal Navy and rising to the rank of commander. Emily lived to the age of 89, passing away in 1932 in Birmingham. I'm sure this picture of Harold would have been kept close to his mother's heart throughout her life, a symbol of a son she lost but never forgot. Hopefully I can find living relatives and give this picture to them, keeping the family's history alive for future generations.